Today I'm going to put together a garden box for a raised bed that I'm going to put in my yard. For materials, I have 3 2x8 by 10 foot cedar. Then I have 6 2x4 by 10 foot cedar. And then I have these pickets that I'm going to cut and use to dress up the end of it. 2x4x8s will be used for the base. On top of that, I'm going to stack a 2x4 by 10. That is going to make it 11 inches high from the bottom, and then I'm going to cap it around the side of it with a ledge that you can sit on. It'll dress it up just a little bit, and I think it'll look pretty sharp. So as far as materials, all I really need is the wood, a skill saw, a hammer driver, and then some screws. I'm using 5-inch exterior construction grade screws, so that'll go really well. They're meant for treated lumber or cedar and exterior application. I also have a speed square, bottle of water, and a tape rule to get me started. So I'm going to lay it out here, make some cuts, and see how long it's going to take me to slap this together.
Here's a quick summary of the tools list. It's pretty short. And then as far as the budget cost, it was $338.29. I used cedar lumber. It's better than treated when you're using it for a garden. And then as far as the screws, I spent $34 on those. I had a lot left over at the end, but I used stainless steel so they won't rust. Now I'm laying it out, measure twice, cut once, key thing to know. And then at the end, once I laid it out, I put 2 screws in each end. Now I'm going to build the second level there. And once I get that done, screwed it up together, I put together the top section, which I'm laying out here, and put a border on the top so it looks sharp. Here it's before I dig out the sod, and then with some dirt in it. Here's an update on the garden bed. I have it all constructed. The sod has been removed, and I took out a layer of clay that was underneath there so that I'll have better drainage. On the far end here, I had to sink the edge of the box into the ground, probably about 6 inches. And then here it's maybe, in this corner, it's maybe 3 inches. On the far corner over there, it's level with the ground. The reason I had to do that is because the ground is sloped as it nears the sidewalk, and I wanted to make sure that the box itself was level. That way, when I have the soil graded, I won't have any drainage problems flowing in one direction of the box. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put in 1 yard of dirt. That'll probably take it to maybe an inch and a half from the top of the ledge that I have here on the garden box. I had to make 2 trips with my Ford Maverick to get 1 yard of garden mix to put in here. And it was easy after I backed it up, just basically pull it in with a rake and level it out. Now I have the soil in, and I think it's going to be just about the perfect amount. Once I spread it around, it's going to be awesome for my garden. Continuing the project today, what I decided to do is to add a 2-foot fence of hardware cloth on top, just to prevent bunnies from getting in there. I invested all this time putting this thing together. I just want to make sure my produce is not snatched up and eaten by the bunnies. Here's my construction scene. It's kind of nasty, but things got spread out a bit. Basically what I'm doing here is I've laid out the hardware cloth on the ground. I've measured from the beginning of it down there to the first right angle turn, which is going to be crimped as a hard crimp right there at 103 inches. Then I'll do another bend so that I can get over to the section of the box that goes from here to there. I'll do another 90-degree crimp, and then I'm going to run it down that way, and I'll be able to drop it straight in to the box. For my second right angle crimp, I'm going to make it the exact dimensions of the inside of the garden box, which is at 53 inches. And that way I can basically, hopefully, drop it straight down. Then I'm going to use 2 picket fence boards, remainders that I had. I'm going to screw the hardware cloth to the box from the inside, and I'm going to put a right angle here and adjust it so that hopefully with the hardware cloth on the outside, the top here will match the fence that I installed last summer. All right, so I'm going to cut these so they are 25 3/4 inch long. Well, basically, easiest is I have a pattern, 25 3/4.
I need to be 1.5 inches from that end because of the guide for my skill saw to cut. So just 1.5 inches, square that up. That's perfect. I'm good to go with a couple boards. I'll set them up in the corner. It's gonna be like this, and the tops I'll match up so that the fence will come right to about here, the wire fence. This will stick up a little bit. I think it'll look pretty sharp. Let's get going.
After installing the pickets, I am going to put a furring strip on the inside against the hardware cloth to keep it firm up against the side of the box.
Last shot before I cover it up. Here's the corners, and I've got the fence secured pretty well by this furring strip that goes alongside. That'll keep the hardwire cloth nice and straight. And last step then, I will take a staple gun and I'll just tack this on here a little bit, make sure that that is nice and solid. I think it looks pretty good. So the garden box is complete. I have 1 yard of garden soil in here. I put on a hardware cloth fence to keep the bunnies out, and just this is the first year of it. I'll kind of show you what I got in here. I have 4 plants of kale, I have 4 plants of jalapeno pepper, a bell pepper, 2 types of tomato, and then over here we put a mound for cucumbers and a row of onions along the side, and then a row of bush beans there. Frankly, I think I have too much in here, but I got a little excited about it, and so we'll see how it goes for the first summer. But again, if you're looking to build a garden box, this is a good one to put together, and I think you'd be happy with it because it's very easy to maintain. So that's pretty much a wrap on this project. I want to say thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And if you build a garden box of your own, I'd love to see how it went in your comments below. Thanks a lot.
I'm sharing here a picture of what I did in terms of watering. I set it up with a sprinkler on an automatic timer, and this is the garden right after I installed it. Fast forwarding a little bit, after a month, this is what it looks like. Things going really well. The automatic watering, I would highly recommend it. I set it up for 15 minutes a day, and looks like I'm gonna go from farm to table, or at least garden to table. Hope you enjoyed the video, and love to hear any comments you have down below. Thanks.